The Operations Committee of the Stamford Board of Representatives will now come to order. Today is Thursday, August 21, 2025. The time is 6:30 p.m. This meeting is being held remotely and can be accessed by computer, tablet, or smartphone through Microsoft Teams. The chair is Representative Virgil de la Cruz, joined by Vice Chair Carmen Thomas. This meeting has been duly noticed and is open to the public.
And you're probably all going, what's this guy coming into our meeting? I'm kind of excited to hear about this. I hope so. At the end of it, maybe we'll have a little bit of light to shed, because we're talking about lights that's shining actually on police cars. So, but I'm here, and those are the same lights that'll be on your police departments and those kinds of things. So that's kind of my segue into it. So I'm here to provide notice. This is in accordance with U.S. Federal Rules of Civil Procedure, specifically Rule 17 and Rule 20 of the United States Supreme Court. The Constitution for the United States is an overarching requirement that every state must follow. I don't think anyone in this call would disagree with this. States cannot enact their own alternative legislation and substitute that for guarantees of the Constitution. That would mean your state laws would be more powerful than the Constitution. Same thing in the cities, right? City law is not more powerful than the Constitution. It's simply illegal. Clause 1, Amendment 5 of the United States Constitution states that no person shall be held to answer for capital or otherwise infamous crimes unless on presentment or indictment of a grand jury. However, the state of Connecticut has enacted alternative legislation that permits prosecuting attorneys and police officers to charge by way of information as opposed to indictment. This is unlawful. I'd also like to draw to your attention Roberts v. United States, 1984. This was a landmark decision where the Supreme Court held that intimate association between a parent and a child is a fundamental liberty that is protected by the First and the 14th Amendments. There is no greater form of assembly than that of a parent and a child. When distinct issues of policy or law or financial incentives forcibly separate children from their parents without evidence of due process or without a clear and convincing justification, that's a violation of the rights and secured and protected by the United States Constitution. Bringing back to your local legislation and regarding the Fifth Amendment, Clause 1, is what I just mentioned regarding the First and the 14th Amendments. An emolument violation occurs when you pay a public official to commit a crime. There are two areas in the Constitution that reinforce this. Article 1, Section 10, no state shall pass any law impairing the obligation of contracts. Police officers, prosecutors, judges are all under contract.
Point of order. Point of order.
Yes.
The chair, the constitutional law lesson is interesting and important in other circumstances. I wonder what it has to do with amending an ordinance concerning lighting and the enforcement of exterior lighting standards.
Maybe I can shed light real fast.
Nothing Clymer, I fully understand. We normally don't interrupt the public speakers on what they are saying. They are limited to 3 minutes, which now we have lost already like 15 seconds on this. So let them finish, and then it's up to the committee to take into consideration whatever the public said. So Mr. Conrad, please continue on.
Thank you. I'll fill you in on the end. I appreciate that. Thank you for that question. I'll reclaim that time. So that's a contract performed based of an oath of affirmation they took to support and defend the Constitution of the United States. So when a state enacts a law, then directs its agents to disobey the law, the violation of Article 1, Section 10, the 14th Amendment, is in the other place that you find the reinforcement of these issues. No state shall make or enforce any law which shall abridge the privileges or immunities of citizens of the United States. The privileges and immunities of the United States citizens are at a minimum those enumerated within the Bill of Rights and the First Amendment. So when the state of Connecticut is in an inferior constitution, permits public officials and law enforcement officers whom you all pay or have committees that cause them to be paid, help get paid, this is a violation of the Constitution of the United States. It's an emolument violation and it's illegal. To add to these injuries, paying your local enforcement judges and prosecutors either interfere with unlawful arrests or interfere with parental rights. These actions are also incentivized locally by federally funded programs like Title 4D, Title 4E, which offer money in exchange for custody transfers, child support orders, foster care, and keeping cases open in juvenile court under dependency and neglect. All of these things constitute an emolument violation. Thank you.
remaining.
Thank you. Mr. Tenenwood Downing is preparing to litigate the issue in the United States Supreme Court, and I'll send you the official citation, okay?
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate that. If you'd like me to let you know what I'm actually doing here and why I picked it here, I'd be glad to do that, but I'll let you continue.
That is okay. We will take your information. I'm sure the committee will take your information into consideration.
Thank you.
You are not allowed to unmute. To raise your hand, press *5.
No, it was just one.
Just it. Okay. Any other speakers?